All right, so we're going to go over some of the assignments that are going to be you are going to be responsible for this semester. There are a lot of them. This, like I said, is an intense course, and I'm going to go over the ones that you need to know about immediately, and the others I'll mention, but just kind of skim over quickly because they're later in the semester. So as I mentioned before, you are required to come with an entry ticket to class once a week. So these are always based on the readings, or sometimes there'll be questions in there about something you should be thinking about an upcoming larger assignment, such as your unit plan or your journey box. So the entry tickets will be worth 12% of your grade. So on the course schedule, where you'll click on the entry ticket, that you can either print out the questions and leave spaces for yourself to write later. So you could go in. I have the first three or 4 weeks up there already. You could go in and print those out right now, and then write in your answers. Or you can do all your, what I suggest doing is doing all your reading right in the computer lab, typing in your answers and printing out a typed entry ticket. It's easier for me to read. It makes you, I think, make your ideas a little bit more clear when you have to type it out. And also it's easier for you to read when you're bringing into class because you're going to use those to discuss in our discussion of the readings before you turn them in for a grade. So, but they must, whether you're writing them or you're printing them out, typing them, you must have those done before you enter class. I won't accept it if you're still working on it once class starts. Again, so you need to print out at least the questions. You can write in your answers, or you can type in your answers into the entry ticket and print everything out, which is what I would prefer and I suggest. All right, so one of those will be due a week. You may not make up late entry tickets, and you may not make up entry tickets because of an absence. So the nice thing about entry tickets is that while they're graded out of 12, there's actually 14 of them. So it's kind of like a built-in system for you to either earn a little bit extra credit if you do really well on them, or you have kind of two that, maybe you were sick that weekend and couldn't get to it. You kind of have a couple freebies to work with if you do really well in the rest of them. So they are graded for completion, but also accuracy. And there will be directions and a rubric up on Blackboard for you to visit in regards to how the entry tickets are graded. We will also do class meetings once a week, which I love. A lot of the practicing teachers, elementary teachers, I know this is one of their favorite parts of the day. Unfortunately, you don't get to see it very much in Pitt County schools, and so I want to make sure that that is a practice that you have going forward. And so I will model quite a few weeks for you, and then in groups, you're going to get a chance to run our class meeting, sometimes called morning meeting, and you'll also that day lead our discussion of the readings, and that's worth 4% of your grade. You'll be graded on your professional disposition rubric, similar to how you were in previous semesters, and this is also the same rubric you'll be graded in 3600. I hope you're getting the picture now that we in this program really find those professional characteristics and professional dispositions very important. And so arriving on time, communicating clearly, working well in your groups, those are all going to be really important to you be successful in this course. You are expected to actively participate. If you're not using the class time to participate in what we're doing, I don't expect everybody to talk every single class period, but you shouldn't be on your cell phone. You shouldn't be surfing the web for other things. If that is what you are engaged in during class, I'll mention it to you and say, hey, I noticed you were on your phone a lot today. That's not meeting the expectation of this course. If that's not cleared up after one redirection, you'll start receiving absences or tardies for days where you're not staying with the group of what we're doing. All right, so you'll also have a number of assignments that will help you with your social studies content knowledge. Although, again, the purpose of the whole course is not to increase your content knowledge. You will gain some content knowledge in the course of learning about the methods of teaching social studies. So you'll take a pre-assessment and you'll take a final exam. Those are the assessments. The pre-assessment's worth 1% for completing it. The final exam's worth 5%. I'm going to show you later a little graphic organizer that you can use to actually use on your final exam, which is kind of like a little note sheet that'll help you out in that final exam. You're also going to complete a journey box assignment later in the semester. We'll talk about that a lot more in class, and you'll do readings about it to kind of tell you what it's about. And you're also going to do your content outline on your unit. So whatever social studies you are going to be teaching in the practicum, you will complete a content outline about that topic, whatever it might be. All right. You're also going to learn more about particular strategies and methods of teaching social studies. So the assignments that speak most to that goal will be worth about 50% of your grade. These will include IL2 modules. You will do these IL2 modules completely on your own time. I don't really spend much time in class on them other than referring to them once in a while. Like, remember when you took that IL module on graphic organizers? You should use a graphic organizer in this lesson, that kind of thing. There is one day when I will be traveling in March, and I will give you that day, so we won't be meeting in class, and I'm going to give you that day to catch up on any ILs that you haven't done yet, and then all the ILs are going to be due that day at midnight, so I can grade them and put them in the grade book. So basically, you're going to do those on your own time. They'll be up on Blackboard very soon, and by, I believe it's March 14th, all those ILs modules are going to be due. And we won't have any class that day, so you can catch up on those if you haven't. But it'll take you more than an hour to complete them all, so make sure you're working on them over the course of these first 6 weeks or so. All right, so your big project for the semester worth 41% of your grade in this course is a social studies unit in which you will do some unit planning using backwards design with either a partner or 2 other people. The unit planning will be all done as a group, and then within that unit, you'll be responsible for designing and teaching 2 individual lesson plans. And we're going to use the 6th step, which you've previously learned, and we're going to add a new template to your repertoire to think about inquiry teaching. And so those lesson plans and that unit as a whole will make up a lot of your grade in this course, and then they become probably the most important thing for you to make sure you are doing your absolute 100% best work you can be doing. At the very end of the semester, after you teach your social studies unit in your practicum site, we will be showing you how the 5E template can not just be a lesson plan template, but can be a whole way of designing your unit. And so you're going to do a social action inquiry project with that 5E template on any topic of your choice, which you can complete in groups or by yourself. And that'll be one of the last projects of the course. All right, so we're going to move on here, and I will be just cluing you into a couple other things here.